I talk a lot about the challenges of trying to make it in the voiceover business or any acting endeavor, being a self-employed actor. There are a lot of challenges to being a self-employed anything. You're working all the time, but aside from all of those challenges that I harp on you about, and just to make sure that you're making the decision that's right for you, there's a flip side to all of that. So let's talk about that. Okay, let's say that you've made the decision and you're going for your dream, your goal of becoming a successful, whatever that means to you. Success means different things to different people. So whatever successful means to you, you've decided to go for being a successful voice actor or really anything. This little spiel that I'm talking about here really applies to anything that you're doing, that's important to you, that you're passionate about. So what if you do all the things you're supposed to do that are required of you to really make a good go of, we'll just say, being a voice actor, because that's what I talk about. That's what I help people with. What if you do all those things? Who knows? You could break out from whatever your original target of success was and surpass that. I've been fortunate enough to have some really great moments of success. Ones that were successful to me for different reasons. Some were monetary. I made a lot of money for some things, and others I didn't make nearly as much money, but they were more personally satisfying to me. And that's successful, in the way I look at it anyway. Money's great, but, if you don't feel great about making that money, it kind of takes the shine off a little bit. But so let me ask you this. What if you did all those things and it happened for you? Why not you? Okay. I just noticed that, you may have noticed that I've got my dog here with me, Ella. She's here with me today. Now she's walked out of frame. So, okay, well, whatever. But think about it this way. People in all walks of life, people are finding great success in whatever they're doing. Whether they're actors or voice actors, people are finding great success, or in business or athletics, whatever it is. People are finding great success. Why not you? And they're also finding it regardless of things like race or gender or age. Yes, some of those things might be hurdles, but in spite of all of those things, people with all of those challenges are still finding great success because opportunities arise. So if you are preparing for something, and you're doing a good job of preparing yourself for when that opportunity comes knocking on your door and you're ready for it, then you're in the perfect position. You can open the door and let that opportunity come to you, or you go to it, because you're prepared and the time is right. Isn't there a saying about that's what luck is? It's when preparedness and opportunity meet. That's what luck really is. So that makes a lot of sense. So anyway, if you're going to take on something like this and do it with passion and persistence and all the drive that's required of it, why not you? Now, I've got kind of a little personal story to share with you about some of the struggles I had with a previous dream career of mine. I from a young age, I was really into music. And by the time elementary school came around, 3rd or 4th grade, I joined band. I started on brass instruments. Soon, rock and roll was my life. I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. And I picked up the guitar, and I got to be pretty good. By the time high school came around, I really wanted to be a rock star, whatever that meant. I had an idea of what that meant in my head, and so I chased that. As hard as I should have? No, probably not. And I probably liked the dream of it more than the reality and the work that it took. I was naturally talented, but I kind of dropped the ball But nevertheless, I kept at that dream to some degree into my mid-20s. The bands I were in were seeing more and more success. The last band that I was in was sort of on the precipice of going from moderately successful local band to getting a record deal and going on tour and, striving for the bigger game. But one thing led to another. A band member left. We couldn't pick it back up. And so it was my decision to drop out as well. And here's why. The commitment wasn't there. I was sick of living poor. I was going to go to work full time. I was working in hotels at the time on the side to make ends meet. So I went in more with that, more into the management role in hotels. And also, so the persistence, the drive, the passion, I was deflated. I let myself become deflated. And also I had another big personal issue that I was working through at the time and would continue to work through. That didn't help. So, yeah, I had some challenges with that dream. So I let it die. How do I feel about that? Well, let's see. Well, what would have happened if I wouldn't have dropped the ball, if I would have, from an even earlier age, like back in high school when I probably should have been studying harder instead of partying harder? What if I didn't quit? What if I doubled my efforts when things weren't, going bad, or I was feeling deflated and the band broke up or whatever? What if I, like I said, what if I doubled my efforts and continued to strive and learn and make smart decisions and not be a booze guzzler? And what if I would have made smart decisions and led my life in a way that was more positive for my potential career in music and less destructive to my body and mind? Things may have been very different from the way they are now. Very different. But I don't dwell on that because that was then. I don't regret a thing. Hopefully it's clear that I don't do any of that other stuff anymore. And so anyway, so I went into business for myself, eventually got out of hotels and into plumbing of all things. But then the acting bug came back big time, the performing, the acting. And this time when I had my sights set on voiceover, I remembered the experience of how much like a failure I thought I was after not making it in music. And so I was smarter this time. I did the research. I did as much to find out what was right about the voiceover field for me to potentially have success in, and I went after it, and I stayed after it, knowing that it was going to take time, energy, money, the whole thing before I would start to see any traction. But I stuck with it. So, and backing up about the regrets and things, which I don't have anymore. I've let go of all that stuff. But I have appreciation for those feelings, those troubling parts of my life, because it made me a stronger person. And it's made me a better actor. It's given me more life experience that I can put into my acting. And I can tell that it helps. I can channel those emotions. I can get there. Sometimes it's not nice or pretty, but I can get there. So anyway, this message is one of encouragement to you. If you've got the passion, if you've got the drive to do this, and you've decided that this is going to be it, why not you? Why not you? People are succeeding in acting. Like I said, people are succeeding all the time. People are breaking free. That not every actor that you see walk up on the stage of the Golden Globes or the Oscars or whatever. A lot of times, I've never heard of these people before because they broke out. They had a role that was right for them. The opportunity was there. They were well prepared and they grabbed it and they broke out. So anyway, when you're going after something like acting, it's not easy. it's not easy for anybody. You have to work at this and work for a long time. So when those challenges or roadblocks or whatever it is come up and get in your way, know that you're going to have to try to not take it personally, because that can drag you down even farther. Try to be level-headed about it. It doesn't always feel good, but try to be level-headed about, make small pivots to get around those roadblocks, meaning, maybe you check in with your favorite coach, and express to them, hey, I'm having trouble here. What is it? Talk it out. Sometimes it's an adjustment in the way you perform something. Sometimes it's an adjustment in the way that you market yourself. Sometimes there's just a small little thing that could open the door to something that's really going to blossom for you. But the most important thing you have to do is to stay with it. There have been so many instances where people drop out just before something really incredible can happen. And unfortunately, we don't know when that's going to be. When we're feeling at our lowest, we don't know that potentially it's the next audition that we're going to land and we're going to be like, oh my God, this is awesome. We just don't know that. So I encourage you to just stick with it. Sure, take a break. If you're emotionally drained and feeling like crap, yes, take a minute. By all means, don't keep pushing yourself so hard when your heart just isn't in it. But realize that this is temporary. We all go through slumps. We all go through highs, when we're doing well. All of these things are temporary. They fade, and the next thing comes along. So stick with it, okay? Keep striving. Keep getting better. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to give you the flip side of all the work and the strife and the questioning and all that stuff, because people make it. Why not you? I hope this message finds you well. And did I say who I am? I'm Jan. I'm Jan Anderson. Thanks for watching. If you appreciate the video, give me one of these and maybe a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And stick around. I'm sure I'll show up in your feed again soon. Okay. Take it easy.